Hey Cancer, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. So Cancer, this is going to be your November 2023 reading. This will be for your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, and your Venus. Cross Watcher, if that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Trying a different camera view. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm always playing with things, trying to figure it out. I'm like, what do I like the best? Who knows, right? All right, Cancer. Let's see what's going on in your energy. If you guys are interested in personal readings, that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. So, and then, and check me out at holisticallyzenwb.com for a full list of products and services as well. So, all right, Cancer, let's just get straight to it. Let's see what's going on for you guys. I hope the full moon was not too harsh on you, right? Wasn't too much of an ass whooping to take. Spirit is saying there's some time sensitivity around some things for you guys at this time. Conclusions, endings, beginnings, time, space, reality, integration of the soul in the 3D. I don't know. Let's see what comes up for Cancer, November 2023. Spirit, what do they need to know? Absence. This could be a disconnect. I kind of feel like, I'm going to say a disconnect of the emotions, but I'm also going to say to you that I also feel like this is, for some of you, it's kind of like going into recluse mode in November. Some of you could be dealing with seasonal depression as well. Let's see. Expectation. I feel like if people are asking more of you than you are able to give, you are checking out of that energy. You don't want to invest in that. And it may even be a matter too, for some of you, of living up to your own expectations of what it is you desire and deserve. Okay. Some of you may be very critical of yourself and on yourself at this time. Consistency is going to be the key to what it is you're trying to have happen, make happen. I just heard, sis, let it go. Sis, let it go. I almost feel like you're letting somebody talk you out of something. And honestly, Cancer, it might be for your better benefit. Like when you just go, just let it go, let it be. There's too many, there's a particular situation, Cancer, where when you're evaluating the pros and cons of a particular situation, that the cons are coming up. And I'm hearing 10 is also the endings that need to happen so that you can start something new for yourself. I feel like some of you may be in a space of what appears to be some kind of disillusionment. I don't think I've been able to talk through the entire month of October. I swear to goodness. Like everything is like blah, 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 blah. It just, all my words just roll together. I don't know. Like it's just craziness. But anyhow, so bear with me if you don't understand the language that I'm inventing apparently of my own. So it's great. It's fantastic. Anyhow, this rediscovery, some of you could be, I'm going to say there's a lot of energy, feminine energy. So you could be dealing with a feminine child. There's a lot of energy around children, your inner child to Cancer, or if you have smaller children, there's, you may be struggling to be consistent when it comes to your, or you may feel like, I'm going to say this, I don't know that this is necessarily a truth, but I feel like other things are taking your attention away from maybe home and family at this time, and feminine energies around you could be kind of demanding your energy right now. And it doesn't have to be male, or it doesn't have to be a female, it can be a male as well, right? So it doesn't matter, it's gender is irrelevant, but it's whoever's embodying, it's almost like the need for nurture and care, or the need for extra time. There's something about books, so maybe this homework or reading together or something like that, where they're just, it's kind of like, it's hard to be consistent in your efforts with certain things right now, and it pertains to the emotions. And I feel like this having higher expectations for yourself, like you're like, well, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. Understand that, yes, you can accomplish anything you set out to, but it's a matter of prioritizing what it is that you're being drawn to at this time for yourself as well. So it's like, it's really trying to like master various arenas of your life. And I think for those of you dealing with the inner child of you, is like, you may be, there may be an awareness of you within you that says, I need to address this inner child within me. And I feel like you may think about it, you might gain a little traction on it, but then it's like, as soon as something, you scratch the surface of something, you're tending to put it down because it quickly becomes uncomfortable because you don't understand it. So there's something that you're not understanding in relation to the self that may feel muddled or unclear at this time. So let's see, Spirit, for Cancer, High Priestess, and the Six of Pentacles. Let's see. I think you are realizing that the situations around you and within you need to be, there's a draw to understanding what genuine reciprocation is right now, and it's like trying to master your energy. The Two of Pentacles, the World in the reverse, Eight of Cups. I kind of feel like, Cancer, you've got one foot in the past, one foot in the present, or trying to move forward right now. It's like you understand that there's a need for what is going to be substantially fruitful for you moving forward. But the problem is, it's like you're not making a final decision on something that you need to move towards. The Seven of Swords. Do not return to a previous situation is really what I'm getting from that, because it's like, I'm hearing staked my claim, staked your claim. I could have sworn I just seen a card that was flipped over in this deck. Hold on a second. Maybe not. I see red and white though. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Okay, Ten of Cups. I feel like you also may feel like someone has taken some form of happiness from you, or is attempting to take some form of emotional happiness from you. And there could be a conversation surrounding something that is, Spirit just said it's alarming. So it may be a particular angle, and again, this is home and family related, that kind of catches you off guard. And I think, you know, I'm going to say this to you guys. This is going to sound really strange, and I think eventually I'm going to do some videos in regards to my own personal story as to how I got here and why I do what I do, right? Like, because it runs so much deeper than just going, I've had some life experience. This Seven of Swords and this Ten of Cups, to me, with that information coming in, or this conversation, this quick moving energy, it may feel to you like somebody or something is trying to take everything that you've worked for, or everything that, you know, your reason for doing, your reason for being, whatever you felt your purpose was, or is tied to some sort of purpose for yourself. With that, years ago, I was going through a custody situation in regards to my own family situation, and things did not turn out the way I had wanted them to. I'm not going to go too deep into this in this reading, but because I don't want to take up time on me, but I want you to be able to relate to this. And to me, it was the worst possible outcome, the worst case scenario that ever could have occurred. And I felt like my world had been flipped upside down, ripped apart, shredded, spit and stomped on. It was horrible for me. And what I didn't realize at the time, that this removal to a point would be temporary, okay? but it cleared up space. And I hate to say it that way because I understand the circumstances behind it, which I'm not going to get into right now. But it gave me time to address myself that I never would have had things happen in any other way. So during that period of time, while I was waiting for this change to occur and holding faith that it would, I also recognized that there were parts of myself that I needed to heal, that I needed to work on, because I wasn't being my best self. I couldn't be my best self for my family in the space that I was in during that time. So it was like compounded heartbreak after heartbreak, and lies and deception and manipulation and not being heard and not being seen. But what it ultimately led to was me having the ability to sit with myself, to address myself, to fix and work and heal toxic things that I had dealt with and was dealing with, the things that brought me to that point in my life, what it was that I needed to clear up so that I could be my best self for the people that needed me. 11:11 on the clock. So in this moment, while this may seem counterproductive, it may seem like someone's trying to rip the rug out from underneath your feet, know that the long run is that Spirit is trying to give you a golden opportunity to gain knowledge, to learn, to grow in wisdom, so that you are in a better alignment for yourself. The Four of Cups and the Hierophant, Spirit is holding out to you this opportunity, and it's like, no, I'm going to stay steadfast in my energy of this is the only way I see it. Like, I've got this, and this going on, and I don't want anything else. Like, this is what I'm focused on. The Hierophant coming out, and with the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands, is like asking you to pause and reflect right now. Through whatever this is that comes in throughout the month of November for you, Cancer, you're being asked to park your ass in a seat. Because there's keys, and when I say keys, so keys could be a significant indicator of something. Somebody could be giving you a key to something. This is for a pillared foundation for you to learn so that later on you can be heard. I hope this is making sense, the way I'm putting this to you. But it's like planting your stakes in the ground to give something else balance. So it's almost like, reminds me of like, if you're growing tomatoes, you put that stake in the ground to give that tomato something to adhere to so that it can stand upright and be strong and firm and tall and do what it needs to do. And that's kind of what I feel like this is it's like, it's going to give you more of a backbone, believe it or not, so that you can stand firmer and stronger later on down the line. So, put that where that fits into your world, but that is ultimately the story that I'm getting from Spirit here. You could also feel like somebody else is trying to duck out of certain responsibilities as well right now. And it's like, I'm just going to take what's mine and I'm just going to go. I'm going to go play with my toys over in this corner. Give me 1 second. All right. We've got the Justice card with the Two of Pentacles, fairness, balance, trying to find a way to substantiate the truth to a particular matter or situation as well. But I also feel like something about this is Nine of Swords, bringing in some anxiety, because there's something that's not being shown to you yet with this Justice card. It's like facts to a situation could be starting to peer out. There could be a veil that's starting to be dropped or a mask that's starting to be dropped. But I think that I don't want to say that you're overanalyzing this, but you also recognize that in order for a particular situation to close out, something has got to give, something has got to change, something has got to reveal itself. And I do feel like, you've got the Tower, the Ten of Wands, the Empress there, that there's some like, I'm hearing burdens to bear, and burdens, or a burden of proof is on you in regards to something, but it's going to be the way that you carry yourself through whatever this past event is. I do feel like some past events are still coming back up to the surface for you. You've got the Star and the Ace of Pentacles. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, Leo, a Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius again, Libra again, Taurus again. Or you could have these placements in your chart. And then Venus, or swear to goodness, the Empress, which is that of Venus. So Libra and Taurus. There we go. Got it out of my mouth that time. I do, and I just said this with this Seven of Swords and the Star. It's like someone is taking your purpose. Someone is coming in and disrupting your healing, or trying to disrupt how far it is that you've made it. But I also feel like for some of you, not all of you, someone is offering something in return to that. And this could just be I keep wanting to say to you, whatever this is a temporary situation. This is not going to last more than 2 years. And depending on what it is you're going through, you may be going, oh my God, 2 years? What do you mean 2 years? This is craziness. But it's going to let you step into this great empowered self of you. Some of you could be leaving, I'm going to say home. You could be going to stay elsewhere for a period of time. Six of Wands with the Four of Cups. What you're not seeing is this is a way to victory. This is a way to success. Temperance, card of Sagittarius. This is creating healing. This is creating balance. And it's like, it's ultimately meant to pull you out of any relationship, any partnership, out of any friendship that was not giving back, that was making you feel drained. And for some of you, I'm going to say some of you were chasing someone or something that you thought would be plentiful, is how this feels. Someone that you thought was all-knowing or all-seeing. It's like you're recognizing that you yourself can see through it if you choose to, if you're willing to put in the work to be that Queen of Wands, to be that intuitive cat that sits with her, to be assertive, to be demanding where your energy needs to be demanded. But I also feel like these demands were maybe something you were putting on somebody else. You could have also been putting these demands on yourself, and ultimately this was leaving everybody feeling like they were lacking something. There was no cause for celebration. There's none of these things. And it's like, you're gonna have to stay. And I know I've said this to you before, Cancer, you're gonna have to go this one alone. And I feel like I'm beating you guys over top of the head with it, but this time, space, reality is meant for you to shift. It's meant for you to step into your power and your purpose. So that could feel, it's like it's not the way you had envisioned it. There's something about the mundane of home and family life that is ready to catapult and change. So it just may not be the way you had. And I think there's parts of your life that you just imagined for the next 15 years or the next 10 years or even the next 5 years. These things would just stay consistent in your life while you continued to do what you thought you were supposed to be doing, but they're not. There's something about the foundation of the home that is changing, and that can feel very disruptive to how you envisioned it to be, this expectation. There's going to be an absence of something with this expectation. And I feel like the more important thing here to remind you of is not to shut yourself down out of anger and frustration. Okay? Whoa. Got the Ten of Swords. Again, whatever this stuff has been in the past, where there's something that's just not quite showing itself, that's requiring you to have to make choices. You've got the Ten of Swords. This is an end, and it's almost like you've braced yourself for what you felt was backstab, betrayal, painful endings. Like you've kind of looked it in the face and said, well, this is the end of that. But yet somehow in the middle of this, there is some kind of balance of structures that is trying to be restored. And I feel like for you, you're going to have to make bold moves. You're going to have to make bold changes. You're going to have to be willing, whether this is interpersonal or this is outside of you, that you're not done walking on hot coals. It's like, this is, you've reached the cap of, like, if you're climbing a mountain on one side and you get to the top, you've made it to that point, but now you've got to start to make the climb back down the hill. And that in itself is going to present its own challenges. Is something works to close out. I'm going to say with the World card in the reverse, it's not that you're not letting it close out, it's not ready to close out because it's still trying to show you more. It's trying to give more understanding to an opportunity that came with this specific challenge of the past. The Six of Swords, I feel like you're just ready to move on. You're tired, you're fed up, you've racked your brain to no end about particular situations, and it's like, I just want to get my shit and I want to go. Like, I'm done with this, I'm tired of this, I don't want to keep doing this anymore. And it's like, I feel that it's time for you, Cancer, to wrap yourself in compassion. It's time for you to wrap yourself up in love. And it's like, I hear like there's been so much bloodshed, you know, shedding of tears, of energy, of worry, of all of these things. And it's like, I want this to be done. I want this to be done. What can I do to make this be done? And I'm going to say, for some of you, this is something that started a couple of years ago. For others of you, it could have been as far back as 10 months ago. And it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want this to be done, because it seems like it's like sleepless nights, stressing you out, worrying you. It's a lot of mental energy that surrounds a particular situation from the past. In the present, what do we have in the present moment? The Eight of Wands is showing itself again. Nine of Swords again. These energies are so repetitive. I'm hearing a lot of, I don't want to say arguments necessarily, but it's like someone comes in and says, let me do this for you. And it's like, absolutely fucking not. Like, we're not doing it this way. The Seven of Swords, it's like you feel like something, and that Seven of Swords is here again. It's twice now. The Nine of Swords twice. The Eight of Wands showed itself twice. This communication, this message that's coming in out of kind of like nowhere is causing mad anxiety to, again, your stability, your happiness, what it is that surrounds your home. And there's that Ten of Pentacles underneath that Seven of Swords. You know, it's like, this is not, it's went from the 1 to the 10. You thought you reached a place, a plateau of where you could just sit and be content for a little while. And it's like something else comes in now and it's like, no, here's the next. And it's almost like you don't even have a week to breathe between a cycle closing out or attempting to close it out to the next dilemma makes its way in. Okay, 23:23 on the clock. 5-5 changes. What is this for Cancer, please, Spirit, in the future? I'm telling you, I said it. You don't see now how this is positive, but it is. The Wheel of Fortune, that positive turn of events. There is understanding that, you know, we have to go through the darkness so that when we get to the light, we can have a greater appreciation for what it is that we've been through, or being able to have the different perspective. I mean, you look at this wheel, she reminds me of the is the Hangman I'm thinking of in the traditional deck. If you flipped her upside down, there she is hanging, right? She's got that four shape to the body, that one leg. She's balancing it all out on that one leg. She's putting all of her weight and trust into that one leg. And right now, this Spirit is asking you to trust this process, because it is going to lead to something that is victorious, something that is successful, something that is better meant for you. But you have to be willing to let go of the negative aspects of this situation, or what you perceived, because I feel like you're defending your boundary and saying, that's not what I want. That is not how I want this to be. It cannot happen this way. I am not okay with that. And, you know, people around you that don't understand you, I'm going to say, are like, well, don't you just see it this way? And it's like, no, I cannot get on board with that. I'm not okay with that. I don't want to do it. There's just a very stubborn energy, Cancer, that says, I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to feel it like this. I don't want to be stuck in this, because this is not my happiness. The Eight of Swords and the Four of Wands. Like, how can I be happy when this, and this are being changed? Because those were the things that I relied on the most to give me my sense of stability, that brought me closer to my place of healing. But I think that Spirit is directing you to heal differently, starting off with the Two of Pentacles and ending with the Two of Pentacles. Again, I think, Cancer, you just keep going back to, this is not, like, why, it's almost like, why can't I have both sides of the world, 25, 52, mirroring each other, to be in my space of happiness? Why do I have to give up one thing to get another? And it's, you could be in even a space with this Eight of Swords of like bargaining with God, or your higher power, whatever it is for you, of going, why does this particular thing, something that's so near and dear to me, why does it have to be let go of so that I can get somewhere else, or so I can gain and obtain something else? Because I envisioned these two things together to create my happiness. And now you're telling me if I want this, that I have to give this up. And it's almost like, I'm going to call it the ultimate sacrifice for you, Cancer. Like, it's just like, you really can't have it both ways. But it's going to require emotional balance from you. If you can get your emotions in check, reflect and understand why this needs to happen, it's going to make a lot more sense. But you're just like, this is not the way I dreamed this to be. This was supposed to be easier. I've worked so hard to get to that, to obtain that. And it's you really speaking your truth. It's really you voicing what you know to be true. And it's causing, like, as much as you voice it, I feel like you go back in and it's causing some kind of other internal confusion, emotional confusion. The key to how you progress forward is to keep your emotions in check. Base it in reality. Base it in that King of Swords. You're going to have to be logical about how this is going to play out, rather than letting your emotions rule the roost at this time. Okay? So, crazy heavy message. All right, let's see. What's the advice for Cancer here? Again, if you guys are interested in personal readings, that information is found in the description box below, as well as the About section page. Thank you to everybody who has liked, subscribed, commented, shared. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you. Conscious connection and trust yourself. You know, I'm going to say this to you, Cancer, and I'm going to say, probably divine feminine energy, okay, here, is that you got 2 8s. I think you could be also in this rediscovery examining your life. Like, you may come across a picture or something of you younger, and then like all of a sudden you're looking at that, and then it's like looking yourself in the mirror. And this goes for you know, our masculines too, that you're looking at yourself from before and you're looking at yourself now, and you're like, God, I've aged, I'm tired, I've got battle wounds, I've got battle scars. I'm finally learning to let myself be bare to the world. And I have put on a brave face. I have warriored and championed through so much. Why does this have to happen again? I want to point out to you guys, there's an owl and a raven. And I seen that somewhere earlier. Those two animals stuck out to me somewhere. I can't remember what card they were on, but it caught my attention. And here it is again. The owls are striking of death and wisdom. They are very intelligent. They're very clever. And then you've got the raven, which too can also be a symbol of death, but it's also transformation. It is change. It can be protection. But with that, the egg is there. And with that egg, there's new life being formed. Okay, so whether this is metaphorical or physical transformation, to put it in those terms, it's about discovering the beauty. It's about seeing the true you that you've been able to transform and carry there's an animal spirit with you. You have been a warrior in various ways. And it's like, I think Cancer, this tough, rough, warrior, abrasive energy has gotten you all the further it's going to carry you. And now it's time to soften up. And it's like, I think in a way you're trying to soften yourself. But there's a spirit is saying another way of doing it, and they want to take you that way. They want to take you into a softer version of you that is truly barren and vulnerable at the age you are now. Some of you could be 44 years old. That keeps coming up. But it's like, how do I put this? When I see this, I wish I could plug my head into a computer sometimes and show you guys what comes up. There's a stream. You've got fish going down that stream, and I feel like one of those fish are kind of like you, and it is to be in the complete divine flow of life, where your emotions that you once knew to be yours from years ago before becoming this warrior, hardened kind of energy, it's almost like your soul, or I'm not even say your soul, you yourself identify with those the old emotional you. There we go. But Spirit is asking you to step into a new emotional you. And it's one I don't think you're familiar with. And they're asking for that change. I know you're not familiar with it. It's going to soften you differently in a different age than, if it was 20 years ago when your hard journey really started. You've gone through these epiphanies, these awakenings, these moments. And again, it probably hardened you. It's like having skin as thick as leather, right? From all the whoopings and the lashings that you feel you've taken or you have taken, right? Not even that you feel like your truth is your truth. But you can't carry that skin with you. And it's like we're gonna kind of like rub off the calluses, and we're gonna soften you up. We're gonna lotion you up and get you a little softer. Like it's time to drop that armor. And I think that if you go back to the emotional you're going back to a time when you didn't have the wisdom and the experience. So Spirit is trying to kind of, I'm going to be honest with you, Cancer, break you down to build you back up in a healthy way, in a way that is not the emotional you of the past, the naive, the vulnerable, ignorant to life you. It is taking you forward in the sense of the matured, lesson taught version of yourself that doesn't have to be hard. You don't need that shell anymore. It's going to require a different version of you, just as I just told Sag in their video. Your next portion of life is going to require a different version of you. And it will lead you to happiness. It will lead you to your emotional desires. The color orange sticks out very heavily to me for you all. But this is a risk that you may not understand, but it's a risk that you're going to have to take if you want to get to the other side. Okay? So I hope that message made sense for you. Feel free to comment, share your experience. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I think that part of the greatest things that we can ever do is to give ourselves a voice and never shy away from our reality, our experience, the way it made us feel. Because whether or not we know this, and I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I'm sure somebody out there needs to hear this, we become a voice for others. We become the pioneers, the leaders, those warriors. But we have to eventually soften ourselves to find another way to get back to the genuine human connection of the heart, to allow ourselves to go into a safe space. The energy of you guys is like pulsating through my body right now, and it almost brings me to tears. This may not be the way you envisioned it, but I can guarantee you that in due time, and it might be a little while, I'm not going to pretend that it's not going to be, is going to forever change you to be much more heartfelt without carrying the scars of the past with you. Okay? Whew. Cancer, I might need a drink after this. I'm not going to lie. That was heavy. All right. I am sending you guys so much love. Wishing you all of the very best throughout the month of November. New videos to come. And if you found this video resonated, like, subscribe, share, comment. Like I said, personal readings are available. Check me out. Description box below, about section of the page. And I'm sending you guys love and light. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.